Hey everyone, Gio here from Fandom United. I want to share my thoughts for Army of the Dead. I just finished a screening at a local theater I had. It's about 11:30 here Pacific time. And so before I share my thoughts, I want to let everyone know this is a non-spoiler review. I will be doing a full spoiler once the movie releases on Netflix because I know not everyone has it available in theaters in their area. So I want to give everyone time to see the movie and kind of digest it. At 2 hours and 28 minutes, it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of thrills, suspense. It's everything that you would want in a zombie flick that doesn't exactly repeat the stuff you've seen before in the genre. So let's start with the zombies.
They're not what you think they are. They're smarter. They're faster. They're organized.
I mean, they're not only fast and strong, but they're also intelligent and they show emotion. I mean, this is Zack Snyder we're talking about. One of his first movies was Dawn of the Dead, which a lot of people consider his best movie. And going back to the genre a second time, nearly 20 years later, you can see that he had some ideas that he just couldn't wait to put on the big screen. And a lot of them work. Let me tell you, the Zombie King in this movie, he's pretty awesome, okay? He's not only intimidating, but they humanize him pretty much, okay? He has emotions, he has feelings. There is a zombie queen that he cares a lot about. He rules over the zombie community that has taken over Las Vegas, and a community which consists of alpha zombies and also regular zombies, you know, the ones that move slow and, you know, aren't very intelligent. They don't have much brains in their head. I thought the choice to make this a heist zombie flick set in Las Vegas was a brilliant move. I mean, the cinematography of Las Vegas, which Zack Snyder himself shot, he was his own director of photography, and he did most of his on-shooting locations in Atlantic City. I mean, Las Vegas looked incredible, both early on when it's, you know, normal, and then when it becomes Las Vegas overrun by zombies. It's really, really incredible what Zack Snyder is able to do, not just as a storyteller, but as a cinematographer as well. One thing almost everybody can agree on is when it comes to Zack Snyder's movies, however you feel about them, the opening sequences are always the highlights of the movie. And in this one, it's up there with Watchmen and Man of Steel, in my opinion. This one more so is like Watchmen in that there's opening credits and it's just a lot of fun to watch, honestly. Speaking of music, Junkie XL, his zombie score, especially early on, wow. This guy continues to prove that he is one of the best in the industry. And once again, Junkie XL definitely did his thing. As far as performances go, Dave Bautista. We heard about him turning down a role in the James Gunn's The Suicide Squad to be in this movie and work with Zack Snyder. In this movie, he delivers during some of the most emotional moments that I've ever seen in a zombie flick. You definitely understand why he chose this role. It's not only an action role, but for him, it's an opportunity to show more of his dramatic chops. And I'll say this about Dave Bautista. He may never be as big of a blockbuster star as Dwayne Johnson, but as far as who would win an Oscar first, in my opinion, I'm starting to think Dave Bautista can really, really pull it off. And give him another 10 years, give him some more opportunities to work with some auteur filmmakers, you'd be surprised what he can do. The ensemble cast was freaking awesome. There are definitely some standouts from Amari Hardwick to Matthias Schweighöfer. I believe I pronounced that right. Those two and their interactions are a lot of the fun of the movie.
That's heavy, brother, but I dig it.
And you can't talk about Ensemble without mentioning some of the female actresses and just the characters, the strong characters that they play. Tig Notaro, who was a late addition to the cast, she is excellent. Every scene that she is in, she nearly steals it. Samantha Wynn, who is a longtime collaborator with Zack Snyder, is great in this movie. And the last thing I'll mention as far as positives go is the world building. I mean, this movie, Zack Snyder is swinging for the fences. And let me tell you, he hit a home run with this movie. I'm excited to see what happens next with Army of the Thieves prequel movie, as well as the animated series. I believe it's called Lost Vegas, which will be on Netflix and will tell more of the origin story. I am so looking forward to that. But as much as I am a fan of Zack Snyder, when I find something that doesn't sit too well with me, I have to talk about it. There are a few negatives in this movie, non-spoiler, of course, starting with the human characters. Now, for me, I have a very low tolerance for stupid decisions that humans make in these type of scary thriller zombie flicks. And in this one, there's definitely some standouts without spoiling it. There was one character who has a very important relationship to the main character, and she pretty much just fucks everything up. There's another character who it's so obvious he has his own agenda, his own motives, and yet they choose to ignore it and just keep moving forward. It annoyed the hell out of me. And while I've heard some complaints about the runtime, I'm inclined to slightly agree with it. I thought there were a couple of character interactions that, looking back in retrospect, could have been cut shorter because it went nowhere, or it didn't really pay off as much as they wanted it to for as much time as they gave it on screen. Other than that, you're going to have a lot of fun watching this movie. I'm going to watch it again tomorrow when it releases in theaters on Friday. I have a second screening, and I cannot wait to watch it again. Zack Snyder, once again, elevates the genre. He makes this movie particularly fun with its ensemble cast. Fun is not a word that you hear very often with Zack Snyder. It's a word that I don't really like using that much, but for this movie, I can't lie. I had a lot of fun watching it. It's so entertaining, and I highly recommend you guys check it out, Army of the Dead. I definitely recommend it. Whether you watch it in theaters if you can, or if you check it out on Netflix, you're going to have a blast and you're going to want to see more. And the great news is more is on the way. But that's all I can talk about without going into spoilers, guys. That's my non-spoiler review for Army of the Dead. If you've seen the movie, be sure to leave a comment. Let me know what you thought about the movie. Make sure you guys hit that like, thumbs up button if you did enjoy this review. My congrats to Zack Snyder. You are now 2 for 2 as far as movies on streaming services go this year, and I cannot wait to see what you do next. You guys, thank you so much for your time and your subscriptions. Gio here from Fandom United. I'm going to get some rest, and I'll catch you guys later on this weekend. Take care.